Well, yes, I Abba, Yadamu in Amasa, Brass said in Pension Mubrel, or Adom TV, Badwam, Jumedia AD. So I pay, wow, she be on the other was so close to our share. Now, you be doing common one drink challenge around 1760. Again, GN Awards, CH Nanaya Brefo 1446. CH Nanaya Brefo 1446. Now, Afi Marco and woman couldn't get to me. I live there. Lucky Herbal Clinic for Daruma. If you are Joada copy, if you are in Pensemu, Ebro, Medical Catcher, if you are a person for Lucky Herbal for number from the 0243 201244 and now 0277465855. Quickly, I'm paying the mail for Theophilus Techai, our Hanum say, Sansona, the mail for Simon say, Mensas, our Hanum say, Omu, he has a better down at DBM, but over to the Chawai. Who and in Sambia could pure about education. We do come briefly na after ba ending command kasa ebesi. But yanko His Excellency John Dramani Mahama nipa binomu interpretation a one dia man nkomodi a one Ghana for the chair a obotwa na kodie yanko bra yeba ehwa kwaba.
Often what has happened is in election years, I mean, trade unions and everybody sees that government is in a vulnerable place. And so that's when demonstrations and things, agitations for increased pay and all that begin to happen. And because of the sensitivity of the period and probably the fear of losing elections, government, normally would give in to some of these pressures. And before you see, the budget is out of sync. And then when elections are over and government is installed, you have to start the belt tightening all over again. The advantage going for me is I've seen more demonstrations and strikes in my first 2 years. I don't think it can get worse in the second 2 years. And it is said that when you've killed a goat and you frighten it with a knife, it doesn't fear the knife because it's dead already. So I have the dead goat syndrome going forward. And so we're going to ensure that we maintain fiscal discipline.
Yes, Abba, quickly, I'm going to some China. No make us in Patano, who has some accuracy saying, I feel a broy Pumako, we can't patao about the child, Patown. That's what you be bank crying. Oh, that's the bank. Oh, that my car. It's all the back. Uba, no, no. Then I would call that. From corner, no Musum. The crocodile, the crocodile. That's only that type of fish. It chest without the members of parliament. A unique. Oh, okay. In the holiday and the unique. That's how your abroad by only say on choice is it do you know war. A honorable we are home to me the showman, unique as a being. Every proud. Yeah. Bibiaboko. Namiadum Boko. Assembly wants some because it's there more common for a name of MPs in Mudaka. Anyway, we met you up to second quarter of last year. Good. And you heard third quarter and a fourth quarter. Hospitals on the board profile and what's what we say? Profiling. Are you for the bar? Contractors na baho. No, it's contractors about more profile here. Some be who are no, he they say and also more crabber. And to identify as a contractor, so maybe they are now mobilizing to go. Oh, that's a cheddar. Now, not the approval was given in around the last quarter of 2008. Yeah, term of a family. Near Kuji land and also 2010. Indeed, it used 2010. Be seen. No, Mkodom what the bed 3 months. I don't know about budget several times. I buy the car more new
contractors are now. Yeah, that's why I'm saying old contractors now. Because for me, say old contractors now. What's a G contract in from? So it means they are not prepared to do the work.
It's not because it's all over. It's not as simple. It's not as simple as we are seeing it. What about that my man is car?
We don't have to simplify if you're a contractor. No. We need to investigate where the problem is. Because you see, all along, when you were the colleagues, other colleagues, at church, you have several times, make a norms until some make a fine. Send your baby, be who woman. Made the TV for Konoma Kuchaba. Do you understand it? You see, sometimes I think the president is misled.
Sometimes.
I think. Because information may be on the man on. Maybe I don't get the right information. I agree the president cannot go everywhere. Do you understand? So you rely on information from ministries and those things. And I think that they don't give him the right information. Exactly. I think so.
Because this issue about hospital was a great idea. It's opening up Ghana and the Ashanti region in particular, but it's getting to...
What's your final?
And now they make kind of chamber. Some people were shouting. And I'm some from Adom TV, no one call that TV. I'm not quiet. You see, the truth is that we've politicized our system so much. Even when you are saying the truth, obi who do kind of credit, one kind of credit. This is the problem we have. Eti ebia why doing say ebia the constituency ni. Inti ade no enkoso a obeka no. In say see be hu ni say wo correct system no. Ye hu say wo weaken government. Do see the point? In say be hu say oh ade na akwa na ka no. Ye nkwohwe say no kre ana anya no kre. E no kre a what can we do to solve the problem no? The first impression is no, open painting government black. And you know, the way it's received is not the best. Because semi-fan say NDC ni constituency in NDC ni kaya. Kumbe say, oh, then it's true. But because the messenger is from opposition party, you know, it's like say Ugu Abayanimas. Okay. I think a number of times even some many even Kofi Adams grow different national organizer. The same argument keep. One guy will give him for phone, good job. I'm saying, no, for phone, good job. You understand? And
I was a giant. I was so conscious. I was so conscious. You be okay.
Bibi anya okay. Don't say the same. Energy crisis, no. The instant bibi enam. Na almost all share jumana omoya no. Almost share almost stores some getting. Even ventilation cry a problem because we share send almost keep your munyamana. And you are forced to sit outside. Since the light in the home, and you are with me, I shall close environment. Means the Omoye Jumano so attitude wumpa.
I chanced into a conversation. Leaders bear for Biomo. The Omuni Momo suggestion. I was saying, Honorable Tia says, hi, the engine of Ghana and the engine of Bibia in the Uncle plant, a bit by container Boso Kayanko.
What's that? You cut taxes. I will make a generating revenue.
At least, but I'm expecting soon they will approach you with that appeal.
But going forward, you share your planning of communities near.
Okay.
Say, you timid all the industrial, you know. Echo one area. Most of them you group one area. When we are confronted with this, those areas must be given light during the day. Not daytime, no. Maybe a purely residential. No. We can cut them off. I agree, sir. You have some small trees like hairdressers near Ibiwum, but where you have a major concentration of business enterprises, like maybe Abosoka, you give them a separate transformer. Into woman from where you can start instead of 6, look, I can start from maybe 7, 8, or 8 up to 5. One woman like
specifically for Omo.
Yeah. Specifically for Omo. And you know, night you won't give them the power. So Nanka, the load shedding, you know, will be organized in such a way that the negative impact on the economy will be minimized. Because nipa bebre so no so coffee upon adwuma no kodu fi no one lighter and name of person we nyina no obitima ye na anadwo no. You understand it? Say any refrigerator obeso overnight ade be chino na ye nyunu enough
na carrying it forward
so going forward no we have to look at all these things and you bet me minimize the hardships one man for because we be what sorry about so kan about the whole day no only light to me why you saw light on the fee
or the day
when you okra the light na was so on the fee or no better na adwuma ni light no o se mfa so bi e maso but for now no you have that difficulty because the way you are planning communities no factory bi sha na higher residential area until yes type of management of load shedding it becomes difficult but going forward I think our town planners should look at those things.
Right, honorable daily graphic na bo amena ko parliament I said jamaa bi share wonsem eda makoma so me kuro mu na akofa nsem ya betu yesu na ama me ho adwiri me kakra but our appeal to me nuanu ma ye obonafo dodo na akwantu si ani so dodo of Libya and Italy and land in Germany no I don't know our appeal because your mighty men in free brave GH Mensa Professor Kufiamia your Lordina your Yamichema for Munina additional your Mako actually see don't get your winner until we are quite discouraging say I don't know. In some ways, I better committee any more parliament and
well, I no pay na me a story, but I say I no pay by enchia mo mo hwe yeah I no pay e chia enwan mo mo hwe bedwam inkomodie me chia sama boy fo nyina kankan
mama nurse no
me we dem me chia me lost
okay
yeah NTP any helejo and Auntie Christy Dunkwa Government Hospital.
Unu so chiachi say na makai say the no na chinity no or you mix am and under the mix ni
Bibi
we jeje omu nyina Adom TV dey omu fendi agro
e da wa se pa
so ana mu hwe na mu ma omudwuma no so enkoso
good
ano pay ye ka yi adisua ho nsem me dey ade ba kwa de bia me can say indiscipline no too much the problems in as a country no for me no indiscipline so say your institutions in nyina wo hono but obi ani hono mu a or make sure say nya ye dey ahye ni nsem no or be make sure say ejuma e wo say ye no be ye na wo sade bi start na ade na ekoso na wentumi anya solution ana esiesie ama saduko na agi nsem nti obiara so ede no ebehim enra na make about friends police recruitment issues adentina mrantie ede omo behye saade ubeku school besu ade wankasa ubehwe ho so say ade no wusua uwie a ukope ejuma obi asabi lecture hall crown fani na ensi hono wo mu ade no ejuma na opese oye no onim hu enimdie bibia ye beje no aja wa
wonimdie no
wonimdie na sabi ye di sajuma ne hye nsem a betumi aye ejuma no chen enipa na aye fa no sade na akoso saa nti ama obia say okay se sade a
eni na be fa obi
eni ye nyina ye be fa ho no bi enu ni ebi na abeton ho no mi wo ade no most of the schools no private schools you say in terms of private schools no mo ade kire sonko but because of competition intinin any inkofo asabi sika gie no ayo omude ni ntino school betumi akutua ama invigilator edu exams period na omo mbe invigilate nkwada no omo eja omo nkwada no eye ni omo pe omo tumi to the sense omo tumi guide nkwada no eye ni omo pe wo police for nyamanyam nyina ewo ho no adenti na ba ne sa because ubia per se onu nya nimdie bi wo ade no we are using the wrong processes, you know. edigi saa din no enti se school bi wo hono na ono nso ni nkwada no hihye wo so oni omu fem pepe edu exams a omu nye saa katasi hye nyama ibi na at the end of the day results ne ba esan say ono ni nkwada no omu ye exams strictly according to rules and regulations no performance ne nti say omu a sabi omu chichi ama invigilators a invigilator dey try to me solve questions na dey to one mu emom when wa there no nti at the end of the day no say school no bomodin na school na wa fa kwan papa no so a odi kire nkwada na there no bon say na nti at the end of the day na affect ono so ni image meanwhile no ono na all the right thing when wa there no nti say most of the schools no say sanet here there and there me so be kwan a me ni me ba no e be fa so a sa performance o menye bi nti nkwara ne ko examination hall na anya say mo ko examination hall no with their own abilities and I say ni omo asua no omo de kwa kogu krata so o wa there no but omo ko examination hall no to depend on the good ones in the school because when him say they do exams here you be my kwa my copy o wa there no nti that is what is happening now. In fact, within the society, as a society, no, those are the things that are going on. Nti, I was saying, Yankasa ye decided say, this is how we want. This is the way we want to do things. Kwan way so, and a pese yefa. And yes, idea. Nia uhui, and you bring a half of pay. Me the make and look natural. When you bring a half of region, you see 1 out of 5 students a copy. And you hold more pay. Inkrahan mu nyina schools no mu ye won ade no but sometimes omunya protection exactly it is the basic truth
no imagine sem sir
and me there bia meka these are the things I was say ye bie ni na ye take yankasa ye take steps say we need these things in the bad enya sa na
ma wo ka bibie mra no won so ye fa nya adwuma ade ne fa nya adwuma
exactly because obia per se odu pempe su bia enye eda ba ko na edidu ho no mo
ba ye pese eda ba ko do
exactly enu ani a problem
tino honorable tete chai ba bia wa bedu utwi benza except tumbo ase na mso kakra we so medu ho
wo de dachi me no better say a chiro ekwan so it's time I'm starting my politics anza na medu be bia medu time I'm secondary school to it's a process
your market time you jump
no
and the difference is mo bread so mo market and e jump sa na na ko
yeah anybody we school ene na who be say or dey ejuma na or person or pay ejuma na obeto bens
no sa if you university
you go to our universities and then you obiadwe and one say we na was onya nika dem
I say okay obi university now who perform me ma ko to 33 times ya o de
drop that yam and na wa ko to
I say na o de kwa we de and na ka de mam na o ji
we ya
you dream
so no or pride phone ya
on start ejuma
who start ejuma kra the challenges that comes with this phone kra keke if you wanna say o repair cramp keke but we student it be them feel say communication is key for communicating
because the late Kojogun read and at a point na the phone or the sa rubber band be abu I'm going up I'm the Kojogun say local finance ministers meeting how could you phone we on for us all die also no why chem no watching but simple watch you one watching that woman watch we on kwan we say you see that on kwan me gina wo man am toy see a committee na me drew ho na wa to 1,000 pounds
watch
now we reach because of no 1,000 pounds you see but obi so me a finance minister
kutu
ni suit to be about some $1,000 be near the idea ni shoe
to fit that status
yes eti un say wo ma call school first no do na adwin no totally different because of the process now, man, for firm, the hardships, difficulties, no, a shawamu dema, Wamuta, 8 Michel Hosso. Because that I knew it. And he said, one who will be never saw any chrono now, Quacobo. And Jinipa no bed tries, obey no so that she be a pejano. So here, young baby, a cool school. When he school, when it's on in dinner, wait till the child cried when tea school. Because that's a problem.
Oh, Japan, mighty Japan.
Yes.
Wow, Chrome Guazo.
Some Chrome crying up. Yes.
Where the community school and
mighty Japan.
4 months to Form 5. What I'm going. Because I'm about 6 Form war.
Time I can say I told you,
oh, they started 74.
Oh, David, and I told you, near what is that?
74. Another Form 3.
And I'm coming pa. I told you, I tell you, can I?
Mother, none of the 9 this is. And I can you use to cry a for plant. Now almost saw no bear 6 until before 10 no madum. And I don't know. Oh, because I may buy 6 form of laboni, me check is if you are family and as a resource no buy. And you call headmaster in office. Your friend Mr. Lamty. Your friend Mr. Lamty. Now, the tariff is Zebu. Mukura and your office, many madam for back home. A friend of Kunedu is all no your consultant. Yakura honey a castle. If you judge, was it that? A school there.
Mighty Japan, so balabori. Hey, I go up and down about.
We've just pasted the list on the notice board. Just go. If your names are there, go and prepare and come back. You give up on Madam Fujian, I know I've seen it. Also say, you buy and you see Fred this Adom.
And the holiday bit you ye.
If you fancy him. If you are Opoku and Prempenuma. And Kakunya, me, I could not crack as comfortably. And finally, you cry on one check your mind. Oh, yes,
Oko, a notice board where we do about a wow.
What did they go and you good. If you have your miss, no afraid the 2 mighty boys. You know, master construct. Whoa. You know, no be a master construct.
Okay, so it's good.
Problems in the supervision.
Okay.
To me, Eddie, effective supervision during exams. Now, within the various schools, so you're conscientizing what I say. Cheating in exams, any depa. Because at the end of the day, once I will build it, future, will career. Oh, there no. But near Obesiano, and the Badwam. Okay. And once you are there, no person pass here. The human shows them to me. Oh, there no. And these are basic things I was editing what I know. Now, I do exams so you make sure say street supervision, exams council, making sure say. So fraud in my mom be see no.
Na di we no. Enya nene wo ho. Your time nina zanima we know. The you say in a cost. Ne probably one more this are adi we in best schools moon. E wo mo nsuade. Enti exams no e ben no. Na fi na ni aba no. Wom so ye kopapo.
Which means
ebi timi ti sika koto one question no one krema. No mu di akiri. E na won tena fi na wonsuade. Because usuade na. And at any time what that cry near beside bibia, you can say something
exactly.
And it gives you some confidence when you come out of school. Because when him say what's your baby, who baby will treat. And the idea was at any point in time, you be say baby cry and say, we refika cry. Okay, baby, get home. Once I didn't even start it. Never. But what I call mess up. This time will be to me a co-university. What you na bisa was a university ni brofuni. Adia your time no secondary school ni big trouble for me chiro ni senior bi Professor Tifa. When I go Japan.
Okay, mighty Japan.
Yeah, no only him 2 years. no assistant school prefect. If you know about St. Peter's in Ketia.
Criminology.
Yes. As far back as 1976, he won national competition on Charter of Redemption. Now, trouble for Towa. Now, I say yes. Oh, and now it's a competition. You go on and say, school, we might not have passed. And then we can another station near radio. Okay, we have a body. Okay, FM. Kwame Nkrumah. There we are. Say, hey, my friend, my teacher passed. I know. Okofa Bayan, I'm cutting. Say, look. When some people in the early schools were learning syllabus to pass examination, we were reading textbooks. Because that time, we could teach any no children. One of them we A-level no aba. Do you understand it? And until say Obia, what child there 10, 15, 20 years, our full control over the subject. And you won't have an say we never to. No. That's who can read your cosity. Do you understand it? And a boa kakra. The disadvantage of a woman is who's a young cook school and drew baby. Command over the English language. Yana our form. Yeah, not written, but spoken language. You know, Bonse Yana
akem kakra.
Because of confidence level near the adeno Yana akem kakra. These are the. But yes, a build way through the system now. But be a bit no say yes. At least you can go through.
Yes. Okay, so parents are involved.
Yeah. In fact, In fact, when it comes to exam or practices, parents also account. Some parents also count. Because let me tell you, parents, even some parents can go
to that extent,
to the far extent. So, to be compare questions in mama. Now, who corrupted at that level now? That's your baby.
I know my prepared question also. Womana ye chibia. Was I a sanction student? Near sanction. Any panel release the question. Because say we be nya fee abontia. Definitely ne fee.
Printing house.
And now we also take questions. Do you understand it? It was a bank, it me track. Graduate were want me as top from the source. Students they are bad, students they are bad near failure. You feel na nipa na so omo kotoya nipa no ajiska na di free. Odinkwa. Enti e o se a kire nkola no the danger wo mu so. No mu hu say ade no ye chewa. Ye be feel you a afa na o san be hyasie from the beginning. Ada na wonye hu
I think 2 years when I say.
Yes, ada na wonye hu sua no preko. Now won't pass it. Even say one or two subjects be a year. You concentrate on those ones.
Right.
And then right.
Okay, so the idea come on, I feel like come on with Parliament was security and safety measures. Security was something. First time of being Parliament was yesterday.
Oh no, yeah, Parliament today. Security they are very low. Very low. I know
security.
But then I'm because me monitor.
They are making Ghana there.
Oh, no,
serious.
Yeah, can't.
Serious, yeah, Parliament there.
Can't.
Will they compare other parliaments there? Ghana.
The main entrance, no. Ufi me entrance, no security for no. I was saying, come to me question nipa no kra.
Too much.
Now, what is
it? First time, no, I mean monitor. No, I say. Yeah. We got bad just like that. Every day in Monaco.
Yeah.
And that is the heartbeat of Ghana for because we see what
of democracy. That's the pivot of democracy. Parliament. Because under any form of administration, you have the executive, you have the judiciary. But it's not every form of, any form of governance. But it's not every, you have the executive, you have the judiciary. But governance system be your home, you don't have the parliament. But in democratic dispensation, the heartbeat, parliament. And the parliament. Because we be a cool ne. Obey me a cruise parliament. A cruise parliament, executive, no do judgment. Judiciary is judgment. But that's it. problem no so
and I mobile see a trainer BBC as
masa to the be a low level of development no so count and the sikasem no so count who raise it there was sometimes we raise it am for try that power already so say ya tutumu ya katwe boom boom most have security most
you don't know what you're talking
no you say
because what I saw yesterday I was
shocked. I know what you're talking about.
You have better appreciation of the issue but man for sorry on when how
I mean see sometimes letters you know eba hono eba ku any MPs eba ye ntokwa ho even chamber no kra do time some even try as much as well say
chamber ya ga to see in chamber ho na the most embarrassing that you cry na woman say obi o MP bi aba oba no nipa yi nyina ye nipa that day kapre kra na butu obe pi ne nkrofo obisa no sika no ka se ne de mesrew me ho nye da na ne bo obi kra tumi kan so de brechina won ka so o ma no kra o brechina ne de ene ma nye we can't an issue
me me say na ya nko hu na me na nko hu and na say mo say mo love you say mo chamber a fa telephone frame and some people were waiting for a particular MP a lot of MPs but not a particular one they okay exchange of verbal
oh yeah
I say hey I'm call woman that na mo ni obi a obi push such a thing out the place and
we dey win him gra who can say someone be catch you the best thing is the nipa no kasa no me one say oba na de na wo so open no office wo bia
oh we the mama me take it for granted very bad
no you can fight for
it. I've not been happy
because you raise
I'm not safe bro
I don't want to mention names you raise I know my descend on us
I'm not safe at all
you raise I know my descend on us
anytime I say you feel secured no home you don't feel secured. It's not good at all. I don't know why I'm be taking out a day of purposely for that. Will have done some trick because you're taking them for granted. I'm telling you, and you're fair and you're pleasant. Cry.
But I'm the same reason.
Oh, be no, now they want maybe a diagram. You have a shemra. All background say when you pan we be making noise. At once they say if you cry,
other parliaments, me manya kwa mako Pakistan, mako India, amo parliament. Who visit ano? We are member of parliament in the crowd. Who call no mono? Ube di ben say 1 hour before ube do parliament building. It be delay
because right from entrance na as the main gate na me more problem with right even from the entrance na mo the echo. I suggest that main gate in the hall, but there should be a second serious checkpoint, be you an MP or whatever.
Exactly.
So what I said, who cross you say we cross to American embassy. What we free among say Diana Kwemu. That is
Yaka. This is your VVS.
That is what I because not who said them.
Oh, no. Freedom.
All this while, the impression I have had because me called is that a secured area, nobody. It's all almost a party faithful. So, but me say, who's a wood tremor? Maybe a buses. Oh, me say they will. But more direct access to the place like that.
Oh, one problem is where the receptionists are. Receptionists are just in front of the chamber. And that is where we receive them. Eti, we go around Ponuma. One receptionist no kasa wo buku no. No be so fa ho. What so fa ho? Obi timi ba no obie chamber no door no. Asana ebi obi adro attention say no you can't enter.
Oh, who's there? I can't enter. Me too, Abamanu now.
Okay, so
I can't enter.
So I have dead goat syndrome. Mahama tells Ghanaians. President John Dramani Mahama says he has become impervious to the threats of strikes and demonstrations in Ghana and will not yield to any of such threats in the upcoming election year, adopting what he calls a dead goat syndrome. The president said he will not be hoodwinked by such strategies by workers. And I quote, I have seen more demonstrations and strikes in my first 2 years. I don't think it can get worse. It is said that when you kill a goat and you frighten it with a knife, it doesn't fear the knife because it is dead already. I have a dead goat syndrome. He told the Ghanaian population in Botswana, where he is on a 3-day official visit. The country has over the few years experienced a number of strikes and demonstrations from workers, most of whom protested against poor conditions of service. The Trades Union Congress was one of the many worker unions who were on the streets last year to protest the worsening economic crisis. The president said such demonstrations are part of strategies by a workers' group to tie the hands of government, especially in election year. And when government yields to such threats, the economy and budget are thrown out of gear, only for the government to start tightening its belt after elections. That will not be allowed in 2016, he promised. Oh, what our opposition? Yeah, President, Ghana President, Anna Akasa. How do you feel?
Example bi ho a oma na kofa ensem bebriaba because already no yentu obi a so indirectly he say me feel bia I was I don't me me jump fu me so sekan so whatever you do I don't care. Oh, example bi ho a oma you may take it lightly. The opposition in Tino, a man from find it lightly. Again, say, okay, say, election year, no pressure no bar. No, because who more demonstrations in his first 2 years. They are inconsistent. In the first 2 years, no election year. Huh? Election year. Who first 2 years after now, you do a siswa chassis. Why when the election that I will be siswa chassis? And the pressure of election year, no, any workers' strike during the first 2 years, no, what's the linkage? Where? Linkage no way. And you see, previously some comments on mine, no, let me feel some penal. Say yes, I accept. It's a problem. I'm making efforts to resolve it. A check will be a hard, but I would have preferred that one to this one. Go where did I say me few? Who can cry na me more? That's the implication. Into also your work also home chiro. Usi emfa sika bi ma. Yemfa we ma. Memfa ho. Why your demonstration I mo pa mo koye. That's the meaning. It mean no dear President Mesreno, a group a beer, yana opese or cracky jukes, na man for 3. Bessie says yam to be cray. As someone menana tears you. No, I'm a one day Yanko point I'm a tennis one muscle. Menana, ever come be fun with you. Maybe I can't name from whom. At point because as some now walk on messenger no here and the messages here. But how people will take the message, is influenced by who the messenger is. The person or the message no ban who here. Be a ordinary citizen of Ghana be. Ordinary party member be koka we are. People will take it lightly. Even young MPC, see a queer constituency, maybe a man for Duomo how, Norm Canam near Kazu, Biohosi, so why we are, and young few, say about to be young Trabaniadi. Nudge now, my name Kazu, Montaba Munya, never try to with them, they are threatening me forever. Yes, and they won't be happy. They won't be happy. But ubeti ma fa kwan bi so aka kiro msemesrem ade mi tu hu anamo munim sade nu nkurame se kurame dia anka mo kan ya na me de ayden ahye mo nsem ade a me kosere no mi ntimi fa nhebo se me show bo se de o ka se we se yi fa grasses yi mame grasses yi so me ko je no me ni atetecha se tetecha di grasses no be mame
so
fama afi na me no kokasa and even so the be mame da ben no de mame do you understand it timika to say oh boso me de be bro na checha cross over mame no or the be mame in a year's time it means obaka my side intro who dey mecho enti in managing people no and some be o can is serious I will have waste and president
but I didn't believe who said it was just to break that line or that chain or that that vulnerability no say after all what again ebu my mama enya asomdue mu my ene adechi ka adechi into fusing in even with that purposeless lamentations whilst you advise you in the midst of the purposeless lamentations there's an admission of challenges in the country and he encourages that there is hope ahead into the line of in somebody to join also catch the Ghana for okusho but trying to say if join through the no yeah about to be so na mba ye miama masesa menyoma de meya ana meya
na make sure say enya focus there be dem catch us enya battle that is where the inconsistency is what's one demonstration be brave during your first 2 years near to aba come on in yourself no our can offer in totality first 2 years near to aba a demonstration of year in the first 2 years never election you see me say okay some fan ho I first accept the issue no man analyze I said you okay no e no kra na anya no kra e no kra e chinamba hu bi what I say is I prefer people who criticize me it might be wrong criticisms but I prefer those people than people who always praise me many be ba me ho so no na makota mna bi mu who criticize me na matie me executives so they want to hear me say honorable asem we can you won't respond as no respond je wakeni senya no kra enu an se meja to baby e no kra next time oba wo hunu bi criticisms meaning say edu baby a ending for us to accept who say only wa down for creating komo na criticize no pe na nani change do you understand it o criticizing pe no na say wa friend nani at once which means that obi en ho a
any day we na ten any day sir
exactly obi en ho but there was say wunya koma wo de beji now we analyzing who say ade na no kure ana anya no kure so who say e no kure no pekwan a wo de besesa afis ade no enya no kure na afis o be respond later no I respond but you see o ka say asem o ka yin nyina Evia, there were so many good things okay at the forum. Oh, say enu nyina ira. Enu ira. Okay, omuko kumase koyo omayi. Are you saying say woman monyom yentu obi a enka niema a wo kan no say kano na be amanfo be highlight. People drop all the good things and pick only on the Yentubia.
But you forget that the president is also a normal human being.
Oh, mother, do you know the difference? Whatever you do, a position be occupied. Every shape behavior, it should reshape your behavior. Dear.
There is a conditional clause there, so you're emphatic. Say, if that clause is there, saying it does not necessarily mean that anytime you aspire to greater heights, that behavior should be reformed. You can be your normal self and do exploits, not necessarily reshaping your behavior.
Yeah. So when you're president, maybe you ultimately do attempt by heart. When you're president, you have to change. That's simple. When you're president, which means one thing. Don't be president also die. As some of you are new baby away because people are looking up to you. If you fear, Oma, Opa house or now I catch my hair. cigarette nya mo hwe no anum cigarette o sorry so anu wa betena ho no aka na to so na anum cigarette who will take you serious o mana akra will not take you serious o ka tro ma say mata de munini munsi mon to ne kama unye sei omba hu a be mata de amu ata bi ata de yefi they won't take you serious. Once you are a leader, you are a role model.
I see.
And all the good virtues of a role model, no, you have to espouse them.
But only speaking to Dr. Mwakuba on the show, beyond this interaction, the president goofed because a seminar kind was not necessary, was not needed. He has taken Ghanaians for granted and is quite provocative.
That's the same thing I'm saying.
How? Because
how? Say, okay, say why you dream for? Oh, unso sikaya. Tell them why you be a man from. Go ahead and do it.
But how did I delete the end bit? No, mean from who because I'm way as of mine. But this time, mean fee, but I'll focus on developing the country.
Dear one more year, no more case. And now many case. Adena workers union. Was it demonstration no by more over the first 2 years? And I'm catching us near to Abba. So linking the two no and fact. See about 2016 and one more demonstrations. I agree with you. 2013, 2014, that is what it means. No, about 2 years. No, about 2 years. I didn't know what kind of, and they're consistent. Linkage, you know, and fact. This is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. It's a buy, you know. And now, ABR, what demonstrations, you know, a year, ABR, the last 2 years, ever coalition, 2015, 2016, and I'll link it to election. I agree with you. Say we see 2016 demonstrations ban there, but now see demonstrations there bad election to grant a more. I agree with you. But first 2 years no. I think it was back on us. Any election now can I mean. O mine ebia me hu bia ebia.
No, you are making your point.
Yes. No, say bia hu be me hu. Say 2016 now say am for a demonstration am tia say.
The first 2 years, and then to a baby.
Yet to a baby. And about one cry many. I think I will say what you must see. What say what you must see? And then I will link it to a battle.
Okay, all the child.
The American say, media said them can't first. President, with my cracky jokes. But also jokes now will crack. And yet the amount for me feels that it's a move. Because demonstrations were amount for coin or no more transit. A kind, say Nasabi, woman case.
Kono Montrasi. Okay, I was a child. Known serial callers and apparently NDC callers. I'm contributing towards the show and pay. Two of them I call for the president to apologize. If he say, Masadia na Baku call to the extent of saying that any Abanokrano onto because of that statement.
You me that see. I'm say president, you know, all can't say no. And you say all can't Eddie agro. It's someone now can no. Or Jenna Bibiso and they can't answer. Now, I never quite a me and say Utie in some now can no. Now all can about senior edu election sir. Abai spending on my sika as a result of sometimes pressures from workers' front. Because naturally,
it is true.
Mini president, me running for elections. Now a do election period. Now mu agitating. You want to win an election?
So you have to do that.
Oh, and there's a kind of and I'm better about mammy, but or this kind of mum, yeah, a children after elections, you know, not at your how be a bread or mine. we enya adeɛ a ene yehu saa adeɛ no we read we share your budget all over the years election year budget send our buying esi overspending na eno ena ama ene your debts no akoso abubo boso a ene ye nyina yehu chire ye eye no kwe but you see debi ameka say ugina amanfo enima wo men hwe enipa baako emfa take decision hwe duduo no say decision na wo ba be take no impact ben na sa decision no ebenya ewo duduo no eso. That is the essence of governance. It is something that president in Ekano. President on can say no on fee work a bia. Ni all can say senya a do election time. A buy yet to me essay or mine is Sekano. Me time me breso dear. Me nyanesa. A son said, me humbi da. No. He's learning from what? Experience. Say, as a leader, no. Now, this young no, or 5 feet near Adom. A sipping. That makes you a good leader. And see, this is the time when what's a year for the president and say he's stating things the right way.
Because he's not going to kowtow to the pressures.
Exactly. But who's as usual? The debate politics. Oh, I don't know. The FIFA corners via Edi Ebufuo, ni nyama ebe bre president. And who will not achieve anything. Edu election year, me parliament, at least, me who won election, me call another one. Me first step, na me education select committee. Edu election year no. Who share budget? Ono say we finance person. Edu election year. Who share budget na investments ni no. On sika ye dey call no. Because that is the time cocoa season. Ama me person me generalize no. But who study your budget now?
Mistake you what is the child.
That is the time people
chop.
Yes. Now, ama omai no sikasem no eji nsem. I quite remember before the last elections budget buy for education. No mo so mo to atlas mo kai enu kra hu ba asem.
Yeah.
Look. Who just ye try for sa ade na. Ye to my ya stored ye to one for so many years. Said no. Committee near said no way. Ade Montonia, we need another time. You don't buy in excess. When were there no? But the thing is because it's election year. When were there no? At the end of the day, no, if you election they pay. Now buy and say, we'll be entitled the bet. Now there's the NTS here. To forestall the mess you're facing as a country, you need a leader. Or in 9 basic form. Or be can say. And yes, say you call elections indeed. You better award the projects anyhow. Me say my be who be. Get fund. I think what get fund. A core problems na you way. Election year after the first round, second round, contracts are awarded here. As you can the contractor will use his money to start. Who are there no? Because it's election year. Yeah, but yes. But some project or starting now or the certificate adequate. Sikeni one my debate here. Project need delay. It will be a friendly violation.
They are affecting.
Exactly.
It's kind of a
project cost 500,000. Once they're not buying equity 1.5 million. Why is it kind of say? Or money sika?
So these are the things that president person checking.
Exactly.
No, they communicated to us like that.
Exactly.
So join funu.
Exactly. Onimni akoso.
I see.
Wo wa de no. Onimni nyama akoso. But no, the term as a president no. Oh masa de na nya de enkoso. Eno the year in fact to one the yes say I said aponchi a we hu sika ya.
Oh, appointees who did that.
Exactly.
Now what's the second question?
Who are no? Enti where eye kokobo a odi ma omanmu nyina
o shebufu ana.
Say
O shebufu.
Or no, Debbie. He's rather setting the right direction for us.
As or treat Ghana for money them. Because or treat Ghana for what you say.
Debbie.
Or the agro.
Debbie. He's setting the right signal. Say, look, me as a president, you know, nyama or mine, yakoye, no, me ma bring so dear, me nye, me person met anything, nyama, na engina yenya, ahuto. Umpe we are open there. And sometimes, you know, difficult decisions, you know, you get people to criticize the difficult decisions.
Oh, fantastic explanation.
But at the end of the day, you know, achieving results are
fantastic explanation.
How can it be?
About his work.
The person is talking about workers. Please. That decision.
But the explanation,
oh, listen to me too. How can this be fantastic explanation? Say, Adom decided, say, election year, because of politics, or I will do more contracts. Workers mistakenly. That ben no man, you say workers be at 6 street to say, I will do more contracts. And the what to be done? So, what's the linkage? No, what's the linkage? This man is talking about workers and workers' demonstration. And you say you are linking it to this one. Where's the linkage? Where is it? You see, I know yet why a what by now mistake. During 2012, we overspending about 8 billion. No workers. Can we no workers? No workers. You see, Office of President overspending the budget. No workers. He is talking to people about workers' demonstration. And also why you don't kind. He is saying the workers they should go to hell. That's the meaning. That's the meaning.
Look,
how do you link it to what is? Problem back one man who say election be dura. Aban no you spend the brave because you person your projects is satisfying crop for. Maybe I me brave so dear. The duru ha me nyesa dear no. That's different. You see, or not to another me am submission in parliament. Me can statement assembly or ha the meaning is different. Okay, yeah. Tell me America say mostly in the State of the Nation address, presidency movement scholarships to 55,000 girls in junior high school. And I'm going to say these are some of the things that normally the president would lie to us because basic school is up to junior high school, which is free. And today, what they call scholarship, no, they call my what they call it, because already it's free. Because I use the word lie to us. Honorable Koshiga, you remember? God have said, no, Obe prefer say, Mecca say, what the president said is not true. Rather than say, Mecca say, he lied. I accepted it and said the president was economical with the truth. Do you understand it? What's the difference between what the president said is not true and the president lied? You see, but they are comfortable with what the president is not true or the president was economical with the truth than using the word lie. Where did they will use no?
I won't for sure.
Exactly.
Workers go on strike when they see say Adom is spending recklessly. Because reckless spending, it affects the welfare of workers. And I'm a so who's the second in your
Oh yes,
exactly.
Now you work at fault.
What would the worker do? The worker will strike. And so see, in terms of physical spending, obey shisha emphasize your money there. Ember. Now, obi cry the pressure ebeto no so because a election year. Yes.
Ofi.
Because it's an election year. Oh, now it to me see. This is the time. Yes, you bet to me.
Okay, yeah, IMF for instance, but Ampedu, let's watch the president demeanor and posturing whilst now on the Ghana for interactive, so that we see whether it was just a normal no, yeah, not to mean the interpretation and insinuation. You could break it back. We'll watch and watch again. Now, her president demeanor, now how anonymous you
can't link. You see.
Often what has happened is in election years, I mean, trade unions and everybody sees that government is in a vulnerable place. And so that's when demonstrations and things, agitations for increased pay and all that begin to happen. And because of the sensitivity of the period and probably the fear of losing elections, government, normally would give in to some of these pressures. And before you see, the budget is out of sync. And then when elections are over and government is installed, you have to start the belt tightening all over again. The advantage going for me is I've seen more demonstrations and strikes in my first 2 years. I don't think it can get worse in the second 2 years. And it is said that when you've killed a goat and you frighten it with a knife, it doesn't fear the knife because it's dead already. So I have the dead goat syndrome going forward. And so we're going to ensure that we maintain fiscal discipline.
Okay, Honorable Sarah, that's a free man talking to citizens.
Yes.
Feel free, let's have a chat. When demonstration.
Very harmless. Harmless. And yeah,
sorry.
Some of you, who's over, but all have the brand was three. Oh, wow. Oh, 3 Ghanaians. Oh, Anna, is he a seven? Would you, Opa? We won't get the opportunity to ask the president, or no, share in several kinds, Sabrin.
No, I don't
think he would do it. Because he and several kind of me, I mean, who do a person. The first 2 years, knows who more demonstrations. And I don't think you will see worse in your last 2 years. And your last 2 years, no negative to election year. And it's also pressure no by election years no more. Now they cannot be worse than the first 2 years. then what are you saying? Because any officer pressure no by more election years no there. And our last 2 years no now also anticipating worse demonstrations. But also you cannot see worse in the last 2 years when we rather get into the election year. But as some more cannot me moment there to me one car and kaya. Seriously.
I see. Yeah.
Media one car and kaya because he could have gone so called Angela avion up to the child air canna came straightforward. Election year, yeah, the pressure we so. We have to deliver, we have to win. And the Vikra demands beer for projects near the amount for the Bebano. We are compelled to give in.
But I made the Maria task to say me.
Crawford did it in 2004. We never went over our budget. 2004. That's the only since 1992 ban. That was the only election year you had that problem. Apart from 2004, every election year we had that problem.
Okay, IMF. Na still mugusu jinasa ishisebi na omo kushe abayechi ne sektekwechi na omo de ishisebi ba omo saba parliament. Then a secretary review and I say what is it?
You did kind and crese IMF pressure before they can go ahead and give final approval and maybe disburse the money. Because they want Parliament's hand in the whole deal. But you see, the difficulty the government is having now, and they say, how to handle the constitutional aspects. Because, say, you approve appropriation bill. Review of that budget, is done by the Ministry of Finance without recourse to Parliament. If it says, once what we are going to do follow within the amount, total amount you approve in the budget and appropriation bill, you don't need parliamentary approval to do review. That's the first point. You need parliamentary approval if you are going to spend in excess of what has been approved in the appropriation bill. The appropriation bill, no, 10 million. Now, would even something within less than or equal to the 10 million, you don't come to Parliament because the amount of spending that. And I will realize you say ABN so be a bridge bill, but there's a more pressing need bill, baby. And you suspend this one and then go and do the other one. You don't need to come to us. Now, say the amount 10 million. No one will say, who be here say, who be spending more than the 10 million. That one, Article 179, 8 and 9. That is Article 179, clauses 8 and 9. For supplementary budget, now, no crowd supplementary budget, no bar, near approval. We don't pass another appropriation bill on the supplementary budget that year. The appropriation bill for the supplementary budget will come with the following year's budget. This year, approve supplementary budget this year. The appropriation bill for this year's supplementary budget will be considered when we are considering 2016 budget. Once you approve appropriation budget, we don't approve another appropriation bill. That is the point. The review, we said, the word review here does not require any parliamentary involvement. I'm told it's a interview me, another radio station be interview me. They were telling me, say, Honorable Barbie and I can't baby, me read it, say, it's not going to be review, but the finance minister is going to make a statement on the budget on the floor. Fine for statement, every minister can come and make a statement on any issue. The Tosubi say, we know more koyeno. It's influenced by three things. To me, review is influenced by three things. First, IMF. Scano Mode Mano. Any one percent parliament involved. Two, well price of crude na abafom. And the figure the year estimation is higher, which means that they will not realize revenue now. What may indicate in the budget. So they will review the revenue aspects now. In relation with the petroleum, that is Petra 2 on be review downwards. Then the third one, maybe if he said they will definitely give you consideration of this dumso. Emma, revenue targets be and yet likely say or be achieve because most of the companies they are operating below even 50% capacity because of the power problem. Those that are operating full capacity, the cost of running generators on diesel affect on profitability. And the moment that profits no be from, it will definitely affect your corporate taxes because they are taxes on profit. And if the profit no come from, they also know nyana come because it's a percentage in relation to amount now profit will be nyana. They are taking into consideration to scale down the initial budget. If it's going down, then you don't need parliamentary involvement. And maybe that is why our transit because
IMF is saying me as a country.
So IMF says no minia. Ya Canada say MY. I don't think the country view of we are here or IMF for Casa Abuame. because of the stringent eligibility criteria attached to some facilities. Emma Ubia no how call Casabon because we are buying. Let's face facts. We are president. Now you say, "Wo you have a merge kawi, freezy employment." Do you think you'll be happy?
Okay.
You won't. You see, utilities making sure there's a subsidy be out where you free, which automatically means tutum. Why not buy no visa? Yes, me the mental to the electricity, booming to you, booma, nanny.
Okay.
I don't think you'll be happy. It will have conditions now, attached now. No government will be happy. But you see, that is a win jari. Now you should be all now so jari. I quite could do blue baby.
Okay.
You realize that all make attempts to go forward. It will be foul. So you need somebody who will jari. No before see a concon, no do cha. Sana koye. This thing, okay, you won't be crying small flies. But Dr. Baumia, Echo came about 2 years ago. Say, baby, economy no corner. You pay, you pay. You will go to IMF.
How was the child? Money should be one. We got 2 months after budget.
Budget
is a high statement, I review, which is which. Much share money so at the end.
Budget projections. Say a buying share say
projections dependent on oil prices in the world
exactly.
After 2 months.
Exactly.
Okay. More
share oil prices are falling, you know. Me sure say omo kwampo mo monitor good in terms of gold ni sanyo. The least expected say oil ebe sena SEA no. Won say with the price na no e betumi drop it to that level. But me then say asem ni see no aban say oh na oil price ni say nti anu nti no bitwa sika we ma ministry we bitwa sika we say me di be we bitwa sika we say minya every Saturday no ma me di be say na say no ade na aba from a nia nka ye so we say ye ton edi nya saa sika no edi ye saa enjuma nkitikiti na sabi ebema oman no nhye akosoro no meden meyi nyama ni nyina o say ebo aba ye fence abaso esan say ene waketia 1000 cedis na onum say month udi 500 ene to nyama ewo jom na afi waketia no yesi ye ma 1000 ni bio say ye ma 800 the following month ntumi fa 500 enko jugu anamebwa me so beti so na wetumi manage sasika no enu pepepe na aban epese
o manage
exactly wo wade no enti hihye na aban ede ba no uhwe budget na ministry ya twitwa ma omu nankasa no enye nni ankasa o mo hwehwe at that time wo wade no ba aban twa budget no based on only projections o sure obetumi nya ede aye is the same projections no because of oil prices no nia kra office say oman no obetumi anya no because of oil prices yentumi nya saade no e wo say oman ni nyina ehu say ni say nti nyama a media hyehyehye mu say meye no saa nyama no mintumi enye saa nyama ni nyina nti say na ebe no na ye very transparent probiate ayi aban na ye ni aban nyina ayeden e flow
okay
oh nti enye IMF ayi hyehyɛ so bi na uhwe aban from beginning ni nyina no subsidy ye free hono na me feel say that policy no is a very good policy for all of us because mean to me enkoto ade 100,000 na ma beton ade no 50,000 amount me boka ananye sa na me boka e kana me bono me kwa na masa ko jilo say ma boka enti me kwa ko jilo abetu asa aka no sabi
nyom nyansa former president ma me na function ne kam de bia okwa akoko sakira koma enye ne fe na fe yenti obia ana ba ko de ba ko so bisake de o say ma ye trying to say chewing gum We are now.
The tree.
I said, oh, this your new mesa. I could
go back. I didn't compare president. You want to say, Nyama. I was say leader.
We are born. We are born. We say, "Some I say, "Good is a good."
Me, Fasabre no bo nana ya advert you know. A man on microphone through na you know.
Nana ya. I feel said that so.
Okay. Yeah, see, that I before I can't only like about before we did come. We don't buy the company. Now we have got a chair. A member better than the Bye.